Alright, what's up YouTube? The Mummy Dust here, back with another Sinister Cup video. So again, if you guys are not familiar with the Sinister Cup, this graphic over here tells you what is allowed in that cup. So the Silph Arena throws PvP cups every month, themed cups, and they limit, the type of Pokemon that you can use in those cups to make it, a more diverse or more fun meta than just like the Open Great League or, whatever else. So the cool thing about the Sinister Cup is the fact that Niantic threw us a big curveball and they kind of changed everything up. So this practice is post-move change. Just like my other video, still really liking Mawile, but the thing that I did notice is the fighters kind of changed quite a bit so that the ghost type Pokemon are a little bit more powerful. So we're just going to go ahead and go into the video here in a second. Before we get into the battles, please make sure you leave a thumbs up button down below and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you guys can be notified when I post new videos. I do try and post around 4 videos a week, a couple pack opening videos, and a couple Pokemon Go videos. Mainly PvP for Pokemon Go, and for the packs it's kind of just whatever new products are coming out or whatever I can get my hands on at the time. Alright, let's get right into the videos. So the first battle is against Sharky. So the fighter that I really like is Poliwrath. So we're going to go ahead and lead Poliwrath. He leads with his Steelix. This is a very positive matchup for Poliwrath. You do have to watch out for the Earthquake. It does hurt quite a bit, but we're going to throw the Power Up Punch right away to get our bubbles boosted. And then we're just going to keep going at it. And then just be a little bit wary of the switch out. So here, I think he threw enough for an Earthquake. I wasn't sure, so I shielded anyways. And we're just going to Power Up Punch and get these bubbles going once again. So we're going to go ahead and feint this down with bubbles from here. And once again, not sure if it's an Earthquake or not. I really want to preserve this Poliwrath because it's got a bunch of energy and it is powered up. So it is going to be able to do a bunch of damage to whatever comes in, which is Lugia. He's going to have to shield this Ice Punch. And then we're going to go ahead and switch because it is not a very good matchup. Kind of a safe switch. Not necessarily a safe switch, but a switch into Mawile. And then he switches into his Primate. So it would have been probably a better switch to switch into the Dusclops, but we weren't sure, exactly what he had in the back. Probably should have known it was a fighter. So far he did have, basically a Psychic type and a Steel type, so he would either need a fighter or a Ghost in the back. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Dusclops now. We're not too worried about the Night Slash. It does hurt a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and try and feint down this Poliwrath with the Shadow Punch. And then the Lugia is going to come back in, and we're going to go ahead and hit that with a Shadow Punch. And then before the Lugia can get enough energy, or before they hit their charge move, we're going to go ahead and switch into Poliwrath and throw that boosted Ice Punch. And that's GG's right there. So Lugia, not one of my favorites, but is gaining a lot of ground in the cup. So now we're going to go out against Jojen Reed 64 in a Sinister Cup battle. So let me know in the comments below who's your favorite Pokemon from the Sinister Cup. I'm really liking Dusclops and Mawile right now. Both of them are pretty good. And then Poliwrath as well. Don't really have like a good enough Alolan Marowak PvP IV-wise to really try that out. But after I do my first weighted cup, we're going to go ahead and try that out. So I didn't realize how long he was taking here to select his team, which seems to be a common thing. People really want to think about what you're doing. And this was a practice round tournament, a practice tournament round. So he did, get to see my team of 6. I saw his team of 6, and we're going to go ahead and lead with Poliwrath because I felt like he had really heavy Psychic and Ghost trying to make me lead with a Ghost so that he could catch it with his Steelix. And here we're going to throw an Ice Punch at this Dusclops. So Dusclops isn't too much of an issue. I did find out that basically Mawile cannot defeat Dusclops on its own without burning its shields. So what I do here is I want him to use his Shadow Punch on my Poliwrath and then switch into Mawile so that he doesn't have any energy. So we are going to be able to go ahead and feint this down with bites, and not even worried about Fire Punch here because it will not feint my Mawile even if it did. So we're just going to go ahead and save our shields, and then expect the Steelix to come back in. Steelix does come back in, and Mawile actually does pretty well against Steelix, especially with an energy advantage, as you're going to see. Here I'm not worried about it because I can switch in, or I'll switch into Poliwrath, and he actually goes for the Crunch. So even a better advantage, and the Mawile is just chunking away with these boosted up bites. And once again, he goes for the Crunch, and I got lucky and get to throw, a free power-up punch, which I think is blocked. No, it's not blocked. But the Steelix is almost completely gone. So we're going to go ahead and bring in his Dusclops just in case that Pokemon in the back has a really good matchup against Poliwrath. And luckily for us, it's a Fire Spin Marowak. So both of the Pokemon that we have right now can handle this Fire Spin Marowak. If it was Hex, it'll be a little bit of a different story. I would probably switch into the Poliwrath right away and then just bubble it down. And but here we're just gonna bubble it down anyways. So end up not using both of our shields. So very, very positive win there, which is very rare in the Sinister Cup. I feel like the Silph Arena puts a lot of time into making sure that these battles are really close. So there are a lot of battles that you're going to lose due to a 1 HP charge move or a wrong switch, or just using the wrong charge move. So it's definitely something you got to be careful with. So here he's going to lead with Claydol. I haven't faced Claydol since they changed Psychic, so I am noticing that it is taking a while, and he is staying in with the Claydol. So I figured that he was going for Psychic. Go ahead and shield it, and then he does switch out. I could have hit the Shadow Ball there, but I was kind of just going for the boost. In comes his Dusclops, so he was running Dusclops as kind of a safe switch. But he's not shielding here. We're not going to worry about this. It ends up being a Fire Punch, which I thought was kind of weird. But then we're going to bring in our own Dusclops and feint it down. And then here we're going to go for the Piggyback. Actually, I didn't even notice the whole time that I think that's an extrasensory Claydol. Let's see. I do just self Piggyback, which is basically charge up to 2 charge moves, and then you hit them back to back, and it sometimes, not every time, it will allow you to get it in faster than their fast move. So you basically eliminate one of their turns, which is a really, really good strategy for getting ahead on energy. And his last Pokemon is Medicham. So we are pretty set with this Dusclops just, beating the rest of the Pokemon on his team. I could have gone for the self-piggyback there. I think I was trying to, but I miscounted. And here I expect this to be a Psychic and to, Ice Punch. And get that Shadow Punch off to go ahead and take out the Medicham. So there we won our 2 matches against Jojen Reed for our practice tournament round. So far doing well in that. My actual tournament starts tomorrow, I believe. So hopefully I do well in that. I am waiting that cup, and then I'm going to do some other cups that will count towards my score as well. So here we go against Skydo Kaisen. I have no idea how to say the name. That's the only time I'm going to try. And here is where I've seen a lot of double ghost be used. So keep an eye out for that. That's why I like having Mawile. Mawile just absolutely destroys the ghosts, except for Dusclops. You do have to shield against Dusclops because of that Fire Punch. And here we go straight for the Shadow Ball, hit it on the Lugia, and then he is forced to Sky Attack, which I shouldn't have shielded that. But I wasn't sure exactly what it was. Don't face very many of those. So he brings in Mawile, and I immediately have to switch to Poliwrath. And Poliwrath against Dusclops is not a good matchup for Poliwrath, but in this case, you just want to go for straight ice punches to try and do as much damage as you can. We're not going to use any shields here. And I do actually try to go for a bait to see if I can actually get him to block my power-up punch, and it doesn't work, but my bubbles are a little bit more boosted now. And we're going to get hit by another Shadow Punch, and at this point they are going to be forced to, block this Ice Punch, or their Dusclops is going to die. Well, it actually survived, so miscount on my end, but they are going to have to use their energy up. I'm going to be able to bring in Steelix and farm it down, and now I have Steelix against Mawile, and I am running Thunderfang at the time on Steelix. I have gone back and forth. Thunderfang does allow you to win the Mawile matchup, and Gardevoir a little bit better than the Dragon Tail variant. Either way, Steelix is a really good Pokemon with either moveset, so it depends how your team is set up as to how you want to use it. So here we're going to go ahead and just feint down with fast attacks because they did have a shield, so using that crunch would actually eliminate a fast attack, which is not something I wanted to happen. So here we're going to go into another battle against Sharky628. So a lot of these players are actually verified level 40 players, so they are very, very good at PvP. So what I want to do is put myself up against very good players, and this is a Fire Spin Marowak, so Drifblim has the advantage here, so we're just going to go ahead and stay in and go straight for the Shadow Ball again. Most people think that you're going for the boost, and they don't block the Shadow Ball, and down goes the Marowak. So then he brings in his opposing Drifblim, do have an energy advantage. He probably thinks I'm going to go for Shadow Ball now, so I go for Ominous Wind, and he blocks it. But what I was saying is I want to go up against the best possible players, so even when I lose, or especially when I lose, I can learn something. I can see what they did very well to beat me, and I can also see what I did very badly to lose the matchup. So it's always nice to watch over the videos and see how you did. Here we're going to save the Drifblim. We're going to switch out into our other Ghost, and I think he was thinking about switching there, but he probably didn't have a very good answer for Drifblim. Yeah, his other Pokemon is Medicham, so he was just kind of looking at that and deciding, well, I don't really have, a good option now. So we're just going to go ahead and beat this. If it does have Psychic, which it does, it's a little bit of a more evenish match. I mean, obviously Dusclops is going to be, pretty much a hard counter for Medicham, and there he gave up, and we are able to take the victory utilizing that double Ghost strategy. So that's the end of the videos for today. If you guys did like the video, please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And good luck in your Sinister Cup battles. Let me know how you guys do, and I will see you guys in the next video.